This is Martin Shirrington and welcome to the final module of Google Semantic Search with myself and David Amerland. And in this module, David's going to answer a question around technical SEO before looking at trust, authority, and reputation building in an online world for you and your business.
And here we are on the final module of the 12-module set. I sincerely hope it's been as helpful as Martin and I had hoped. And let's start off with the question of technical SEO and the future of search in terms of that. And as we're heading more and more into the future, there will be a more and more limited, perhaps, a need for technical SEO and a greater and greater need for the kind of activity which we've been looking at until now. Which means that SEO firms which focus on this kind of activity may find themselves challenged in terms of finding customers in the future, and certainly they may find that their services begin to become redundant and they will have to rethink. If you do have a kind of firm, if you're active in this front right now, the solution is to basically broaden the activities that you have in order to create a kind of value for your clients, which will enable you to move into the future. And this is a no-brainer, really. One of the things which we're seeing more and more is that search, as we know it, is disappearing. I know right now, as we speak, we have those 10 little blue links which appear in Google Search, but we also have the knowledge graph, we also have direct answers, but we also have mobile devices where you can actually ask a question and get an answer by a voice. We don't need to actually look at the screen. And in the very near future, we're going to have keyless, keyboardless, screenless devices, which will control perhaps only by voice, or we'll have screen devices without a keyboard and maybe not even a voice, which we control only with our eyes. The future is getting very technical, very granular. The traditional search, which we have become accustomed to, is disappearing as an interface. We will still always have a need to access information. We'll always have a need to find the things which we need in order to become, to do useful work on the web. And therefore there will always be a search. But the interface itself will become a lot more friction-free, and which is frictionless, I suppose, and search will become invisible in terms of its search activity. This leads us to a question of how will anything ever surface in the future? And the answer to this, of course, is the keyword quality. Everything which you do, everything which you do in terms of your activities, in terms of your social media networking, in terms of the social signals you send out, has to have a quality impact and a quality input. And if you do not have that, then you'll find that it'll become harder and harder for your website and your activities to surface in search, no matter what kind of form that search will take. So you have to have a very detailed driven approach. You have to have a very quality-driven approach. You have to think of basically interacting with people first, and search engines very sort of poor second. One of the most exciting things about the future, of course, is that we will most probably have trust agents, almost little digital assistants programmable by us, who we will be able to set tasks to, and they will be able to go out and get all the answers for us. And those trust agents will be able to do all the verification which they need in terms of the information, in terms of the data, and then they will be capable of being challenged if we need to challenge them and say, how did you get to that answer? Show me the process. And we'll be able to sort of verify it ourselves if necessary. This is the veracity element at work, obviously, in the 4 vectors which are behind semantic search. But what you need to keep in mind here is exactly this kind of detailed approach that they will need to actually get from a website. So they will need that kind of information. So everything which you do on the web now has to be fully mindful of that. You need to be able to do the same kind of diligence in terms of the information you create and the online activities you put in place as you would in an offline setting. And we don't take shortcuts offline because we know they wouldn't wash. We know that people would think, there's something wrong here, or you're a fake. We have been used to a culture of shortcuts in the online world, and that is no longer something which actually works.
In this last section, let's have a look again at trust and how businesses can build trust online.
Both trust and reputation are the direct result of this kind of personal, detailed, diligent, very detailed orientated activity. Trust, reputation essentially, is the willingness of someone to engage in a relational exchange with you, whether they access a piece of information which you gave them, or they're willing to give you money and buy something from you, if they have not actually known you in the past or done any kind of business or any other kind of transaction with you in the past. And that is the hard definition of reputation, which derives from trust. And reputation is built by being trusted by enough people to actually spread the word, which then helps create your reputation. So trust, again, is critical to making anything happen. And the only way you can actually build trust on the web is by being open, transparent, authoritative, authentic, and useful, valuable. And if you succeed in sort of encompassing all those elements in your online activity, then the chances of success in the semantic web are infinitely higher. And that is really the approach that you need to take. There's a question here, of course. How can a business, which is a business and has a lot of people and it has processes and it does many different things and has to have a formality, if you like, in its contact with its online audience, achieve this kind of effect in terms of trust, which will lead to a good reputation? And there is a continuity in this, in the flow of its information, in the context of what it does, in the relevance of everything which it puts in place. Essentially, if you can begin with the intention of creating as clear an image of what the business does, how it does it, why it does it, and the impact it has, and how the business reacts and engages with its online audience, if you can put that in place, then you are in a very good position to actually take advantage of trust as it develops in the online world. And it's as simple as that in many ways. I hope all this has helped. I wish you good luck.
Congratulations! You've now completed Google Semantic Search with David Amland and myself, the 12-module course exclusive to Plus Your Business. If you click on the annotations, you'll be taken to the plusyourbusiness.com website where you'll find out a lot more about social SEO, Google Semantic Search, content marketing, and how to use Google Plus to pull all this together. I'm Martin Sherrington. Thank you. We really do hope that's been useful.